Today is EU Anti-Trafficking Day. Human trafficking is a worldwide problem. No region is immune. Criminals target European and non-European citizens for all forms of exploitation. For a long time, the European Union has recognized the severity of the problem, and over the years, EU-led initiatives have been successful in addressing different forms of the crime within the region and also around the world. However, despite the progress that has been made and the effort of all organizations and authorities involved, trafficking in persons remains complex and persistent, affecting the progress of many countries towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, remains committed to supporting international cooperation and to building strong partnerships to prevent human trafficking, bring traffickers to justice, while protecting and supporting victims. This year, we celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Palerme Protocole against human trafficking. Despite the difficult times, this anniversary and today, EU Anti-Trafficking Day, is the occasion to renew our commitment and reflect on our collective responsibility to put an end to the crime. So join us and adopt our the Blue Heart campaign to fight human trafficking.
Exactly 13 years ago, here in Brussels, was held an important European conference scheduled on the first EU Anti-Trafficking Day. Since then, the EU has taken a lot of action, enacted many texts. Huge efforts are made for protecting the victims and prosecuting the traffickers. But today, human trafficking is still increasing. Give me 1 minute, just for turning the light on an absolute necessity: preventing human trafficking. Besides protecting victims and prosecuting traffickers, it's a crucial issue. As well as for the COVID crisis, combating must include preventing. Moreover, it's a legal obligation following the international instruments, and among them the European Directive of 2011. That's what we achieved with the Familia Foundation, alerting in the countries of origin of the victims and preventing everywhere, including here in Brussels, because human trafficking is spreading dramatically. Each stakeholder is essential, but together we are stronger.
I have 1 minute to tell you about human trafficking. I could talk for hours about the need of a global approach and a strong cooperation to fight this crime and to put criminals behind bars. But I would rather talk about the survivors. Our NGO Pagasa is a place where we support people who used to be victims of human traffickers. One of them once told us, "My exploiter stole my life." Can you imagine this feeling? If you can, I am sure I don't have to explain you any further. I am sure you understand why we need to stand together and to keep on fighting by the side of the victims against these criminals. For me, this is the real meaning of the 18th of October, the EU Anti-Trafficking Day. It is a day to remind us that we are stronger together, that the fight against human trafficking is not the fight of one country, but a fight that we should bring on together as a community to make Europe slavery-free.
18 octobre, journée européenne de lutte contre la traite et le trafic des êtres humains. Suite à la crise sanitaire que nous endurons tous, cette année 2020 est particulière. Nous devons plus que jamais être attentifs aux personnes en situation d'exploitation. Suria est un centre d'accueil spécialisé qui permet aux personnes exploitées de pouvoir poser leurs valises, lorsqu'elles en ont, afin de prendre conscience et réfléchir sur leur situation, sur la situation qu'elles viennent de vivre, qu'elles viennent d'endurer, et de réfléchir comment obtenir réparation du préjudice subi. Ensemble, citoyens, policiers, inspecteurs, magistrats, travailleurs sociaux, nous pouvons, ensemble, lutter contre ce phénomène en permettant à sa personne d'obtenir assistance via l'aide apportée par la SBL Suria. Ensemble, tous, contre la traite.
Hi, My name is Klaus VanHoot, and I'm the director of Payoki, a shelter for victims of trafficking in Belgium. And I would like to have a very short chat on trafficking of human beings. On October the 18th, perhaps we can spare 1 minute of our time and thoughts for those we rarely notice, but in spite of their invisibility, live amongst us in far greater numbers than we can ever imagine. People of all ages and nationalities, men, women, and children, deprived of their most basic rights. Individual freedom. It is a concept held so dear by so many Europeans, a concept we feel to be under pressure. But that concept is something completely unknown to those I speak of, with or without COVID. Trafficking of human beings is a crime that ruthlessly tramples on every single moral idea that lies at the foundation of this union. This is not the stealing of property. This is the disregarding, even destroying of our single most important right. The right to be an individual human being, free in body and mind. The 18th of October is a reminder for every European. There are tens of thousands of victims of trafficking living in Europe, living a life that cannot even be defined as such, and they do need our help.